We completed another trip around the sun and we entered a new year. And like many people, I think of the new year as a new beginning, a clean slate, a chance to have a do-over in my life. So I usually make New Year's resolutions and I break them. Until last year, I actually beat the odds and made them all come true. And this is not because I am the most disciplined person or strong-willed. I'm actually the polar opposite. This is simply because I learned how to become more strategic with making goals and planning for them. And the accompanying tool that guided me through the entire process was my beloved bullet journal. So in this video, I'm going to share how I set meaningful goals and plan for the journey in bullet journal. When making and planning for goals, I first clarify the what, the how, and the why, and then I practice reflection regularly. Think of this as a road trip. The what is like picking a specific destination, and the how is like mapping out the route to get to the destination. And the why is like the fuel that keeps the car moving. And the reflection is like stopping at a gas station to replenish fuel and to check the condition of the vehicle. And the most important thing to remember is that the point of taking a road trip is the ride, not the destination. And that applies to working towards goals as well. So first things first, I'm starting a new notebook, so I make index, future log, and monthly log. Index is a table of content, future log is the 6 months calendar, and the monthly log is like a timeline and a to-do list for the current month. I included a link to the tutorial video how to start bullet journaling in the description, so please check it out as well if you are new to bullet journal. So after my notebook is set up, I then make a goals collection. Here I list all the things that I want to achieve in 3 to 5 years. What kind of person I want to be, what I want in my life, and stuff like that. The point of this exercise is to just let everything out on paper, so try not to think too much. After I dump everything on the goals collection, I pick 1 to 2 priorities, something that I feel strongest about from my goals collection, and then I create a new collection titled 12-week goals. And this is going to clarify the what and the how. To set up this page, first I divide the page in half. And I pick goals that can be achieved in 12 weeks and are aligned with my long-term goals that I decided to prioritize. And if I have several options, I narrow them down to 1 to 2 goals that I want to focus for the next 12 weeks. And I highly recommend sticking to 1 to 2 goals. I actually did set 3 goals for the past 12 weeks, but I was simply stretched too thin. I also constantly felt overwhelmed. And then I write down each of my goal in each column, followed by the small steps I need to take in order to achieve these goals. For example, one of my overall goals is to have steady passive income, and my 12-week goals are to launch an online course and reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And the individual steps are things like write a course outline, design materials, or write scripts, shoot B-rolls, etc. Then I assign a short-term deadline for each of the steps and write them down. And if I have recurring tasks I want to do weekly or every day, I just simply write down week 1 through week 12. Now, some of you may be wondering why I'm setting goals for the 12 weeks instead of a whole year. It's because if I had a whole year, I would procrastinate, or worse, give up entirely. So, giving myself a shorter time frame creates a sense of urgency and focus. And you can set this midterm period however long you want, but I do recommend setting a deadline to make your goals more relevant in your life, because nothing motivates us more than a deadline. And the last thing I do after I figure this all out is to migrate tasks to my weekly log. At the beginning of each week, I check my 12-week goals collection and see which tasks are due this week and move those tasks to the current weekly log. So on week 1, I move tasks that are due on week 1 to my weekly log. And my weekly log is pretty simple. It's got a to-do list and a weekly calendar. And then I schedule each task on my Google Calendar. This is a technique called time boxing. And I know it might sound kind of extreme, but if I don't make a commitment like this, I know I'll watch Netflix instead. But don't feel trapped by your own goals or plans, because you don't have to stick to that path a day longer than you want to. That's why we check in with ourselves through reflection frequently, but more on that later. Now that I know where I'm going and know how to get there, I am going to fill up my car with fuel, which is the why. I create a new collection titled The Why and ask at least 5 whys to each of the goal I selected. So my 12-week goal is to launch an online course. Why do I want to do this? I want to share my knowledge more effectively. Why do I want to do this? I want to free up my working time. Why do I want to do that? I want to pursue my own interests and spend more time with my family without worrying about obligation and anxiety. Why do I want to do this? Because I want to be free of worry and anxiety. And why do I want to do this? Because I have not had the time to be fully present for the things that I care about and my family. Now it's revealed my underlying desire and purpose for this goal. My ultimate motivation behind launching an online course is to be fully present for the things that I care about. And this is what is going to fuel me during the long drive. And to remind myself, I write in this formula at the end of the page. To be the why, I will the what by the how. So in my case, it'll be like to be fully present for the things that I care about. I will create an online course and passive income by planning, writing, shooting, and editing. But the long drive will deplete the fuel. So I have to stop for gas and replenish periodically, and I do this through reflection. I practice 3 reflection: daily reflection, weekly reflection, and monthly reflection. Daily reflection is like checking the road signs and GPS to make sure that I stay on route. So for daily reflection, I check my progress for the day and jot down the things that I did or happened that day that push me toward that goals. And I usually do this in bed before going to sleep for about 5 minutes or so. And during weekly reflection, I go over my daily logs and weekly log and check my progress or unfinished tasks, and I ask myself, what went well, what didn't work out, and why? And what small steps can I take to improve? This is like stopping at a rest stop to go use the bathroom or throw out the garbage or to check the map before hitting the road again. And the monthly reflection is like putting gas in the car. During monthly reflection, I refuel with my why. So I write down the formula again, then I ask the same question that I asked during weekly reflection. what went well, what didn't work out, why, what can I do? And I try to approach these questions with curiosity rather than judgment. It's easy to beat myself up, but that's like kicking the car when I see a smoke coming out of the engine room. Not only does it not fix the problem, but it will likely further damage my vehicle. And I also noticed that whenever I judge myself, I tend to give myself a permission to give up. So that's why I try to remain curious about myself and my growth so that I can properly assess what needs to be repaired and what tools I'm gonna need. The thing I can't emphasize enough though is to enjoy the ride. I know how easy it is to obsess over the destination, the end result. But the point of taking the road trip is the ride itself, right? Otherwise, we'll just fly to the destination. Why bother taking a road trip at all? So enjoy the ride, enjoy the changes in the sceneries, enjoy making new friends on the road, enjoy having deep conversations with your co-pilot, aka yourself, or even taking a little detour and discovering a hidden gem. So buckle up and away we go.